Hello and welcome to another episode of Logical Optimism. Joining me and Noogie here today is SteelMage and HAVOC. So we have the entire method team join here today. So thank you guys for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having us, I suppose.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hi.
Today's topic is Blight, Anointing, and then the league races is our topics today. So yeah, like it's been a wild ride. How long has it been out now? 9 days?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So before we talk about anointing and league races, I want to talk about just the Blight League. We'll start with HAVOC. How have you been enjoying Blight?
Okay, so I wrote some notes. Anointments, pretty badass. XP per hour is trash. It's around 15 to 25% compared to like mapping normally, so it's pretty bad. And loot, I wrote down what loot? Question mark. And that's basically what I have for you. And I want to keep it light, I suppose.
Fair. You can elaborate if you want. So you don't like the league mechanic itself, then?
No, I'm basically playing standard league right now.
Yeah.
Which is alright because the rest of the league's awesome. Everything the rest of the league is great. But the actual league mechanic, not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of cool like global game mechanic changes. Like the hotkeys is super crazy.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Steelmage, what about you? How do you feel about Blight?
Yeah, I agree with Havoc. The XP was pretty bad, but every now and then, like the waves were like, and they actually gave like a ton of XP. So they actually I had to log a few times because there was just so many mobs coming out at once, but it was pretty rare.
Huh. You look like you're lagging really hard.
Australia, by the way.
Oh, okay. All right. That's weird, but we'll deal with it. Damn it, Australia. Noogie, how do you feel? How do you like Blight?
I mean, I think the game I'm currently playing kind of
Yeah.
tells the tale. No, I'm not a big fan. I find it, I don't know, a little bit annoying to deal with and not that much fun. I mean, the rewards are like, I think the rewards are fine. I think on SSF, it feels just fine, honestly. I think as a league mechanic, in terms of balance, I think it's good. I think they've struck a good balance between, you know, the mechanic itself and how it feels throughout the league, or throughout the playthrough. Beyond that, I don't know. Not too enthusiastic about it.
I feel ya. I think I actually really like the league mechanic. I think Blight maps are like, when I got in, I was like, whoa, this is awesome.
Same.
This is so cool. What is this? I was like, and then I looked at my XP per hour. I was like, wait a minute. Is there a zero missing here? Have I been, someone has stolen a zero?
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, oh, maybe my filter's hiding it. Nope. There's no loot either. There's no XP and there's no loot. And I was like, what is this? Like, it's just, and this isn't even like comparing it to Legion. This is just for me comparing it to the base game. Like, it's just faster just to spam tier 11s or 13s or whatever, which I think is really boring. That's, yeah.
I do think though in SSF that we've been playing, you do run out of like Alex and stuff, right? So it's, I mean, it's, if you don't run it, you are on the lower end of being able to sustain all the maps. Would you agree?
I think you do it like here and there, right? Just for like a boost, then you kind of like.
I honestly feel. I feel like if I had been picking up jewelers the entire time to do like the jewelers to fusings to chance herbs to regrets to elks, I would have been okay. But I stopped picking up jewelers very early. But I definitely feel, especially in SSF, I've never felt so poor in a league. In Legion, it was like I had so much currency. On day 4 of Legion, I had like 32 exalts in SSF. This day I had like nothing. I was like, oh, unique item. I need those elk shards. Binding orbs. I was like using perfect fossils on my maps and shit. Like, this was a rough SSF league. So I don't know. I've never felt so poor. And even map returns, because even from Blight, which I was doing in like every 15 plus, the blight things with the map drop on it, they didn't drop maps ever.
Yeah.
No, it's very low map returns.
We had
I think that's a good thing. From
we
this
had a
league, though.
similar thing as well as like we were doing blights for, like the first 30 hours or something, and like they're pretty much worthless. We would have gotten more loot just mapping normally, but the only reason we kept on doing them was because they did drop a lot of jewelry.
Yeah.
It was nice for our chaos
Yeah.
recipe actually. That was
That's
literally
true.
the only
Yeah,
reason
I was using it for that too, and just alterations for when I needed that.
Yeah.
And something else I noticed, it drops a fuck ton of high level essences,
Yeah, that too.
which I think I've never seen so many. Which again makes me kind of sad because both incursion and essence, the best way to get the items from those leagues is other leagues, and I'm like, come on, guys. So I don't know that, like, especially about incursion has always made me sad. Steel, what about you?
Yeah, they made it drop a ton of div cards as well, which is kind of useless in SSF, as because like, I have a nurse card. What am I gonna do with that? But they're fun though, the div cards and essences and stuff. But yeah, nothing. Like I had barely any pog drops from 1 to 100. I think I had nothing notable from Legion, and I did not mind skipping it from 99 to 100. Like I did not miss it really.
Yeah. We could try changing the region of the call to somewhere else to see if it's less laggy for Steel.
Sure.
Let me see. Oh yeah, right now we're in
Is that
Western
bad?
Europe. Let's try US East.
That's easy.
Okay, Steel, try talking.
I think your stream overlay. Oh, never mind.
Is this better or?
Yeah, that's perfect. Nice. Apparently someone said that's further away, but it worked, so
Works.
awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the league can be fairly cool. And I was fairly happy, at least early game, that I felt like I still needed towers, even though I had like really good damage against like tier 16s and guardians. I felt like there were definitely some where I wanted either freezing towers or like the tank towers, which is good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I was really worried that if you could clear tier 10s, you wouldn't need towers anymore. Have you guys been like doing any strats with towers or mostly ignoring them, or?
No, I think you need to.
Yeah, I think
Use towers.
we kind of ignored a lot of them, but sometimes we would do like the icicle ones, the one that puts the cage around mobs. That was like,
Right.
pretty helpful.
Right.
So I guess the strat we did do was we did T16 Ashen Woods for a bit when we were doing Blight. And we tried to treat it like a breach, right? So we'd pop it, click fast forward, spam some ice towers, and clear the rest of the map and come back to like a bunch of mobs and stuff. So that was kind of the strat we did. But even
Nice.
then, it was like not worth doing it. But so we tried to min max of it. Didn't work
Yeah,
out.
I tried doing that as well. I found it really scary because even running into like the path they were walking on, they do so much damage.
Yeah.
Like even the trash mobs.
Yeah. It's really spooky.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet either. Like I felt like I was learning the mechanic at the very beginning when my build was a bit scuffed. But the better and better my build got, the less and less I actually bothered doing anything with the towers. And eventually it got to the point where I was just building buff towers and that's it.
Yeah, I found that doing like glacial towers. Actually, I tried a couple of things like glacial towers and the shockwave like slow, like the temp chain towers. They were like really nice together. And the freezing towers with the enemies are weaker. That also seemed really strong.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
But
I mean, anything that slows monsters down, I feel like was the way. Just like kind of like stop them in their tracks, and then you just do the damage.
Oh, that reminds me. You could get 2 stun towers and you could perma-stun bosses actually. Early on.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That might still be a
Didn't
thing
that,
actually. I don't know if they touched that.
Wasn't that the thing that bugged everyone out? So that it would like permanently petrify them or something, and they couldn't.
Yeah. And then the
interact?
boss would just stand still. And just free
Yeah.
DPS rages and they don't even do anything. It was awesome.
apparently, someone in my chat earlier said that there's a ring enchant you can get, which is like 2 or 1 additional molten meteor orb or something. And apparently that makes the meteor orbs like basically one-shot even the bosses. So that's supposed to be like crazy.
Huh.
Pretty big.
Yeah, but it is fairly expensive to get that apparently. I think it's like silver or something. Did you guys, what's the highest oil you all found?
Silver.
The max one, whatever that one's called.
Gold?
Gold.
Yeah, golden.
Yeah,
Couple
I
of
got
those.
3 golden oils, which is apparently that's good. Is that
Wow, they're
Sounds
like.
pretty good.
Are you still
Yeah.
on? Are you in trade league? Because they're over 3x.
good? No, I'm SSF scrub, so I'm ruining the hardcore economy.
Yeah,
no.
basically. Dude, if
What
you
economy?
transferred
What
back to
economy?
hardcore trade league, there would be 4 of us.
Oh wow.
He's
How much
bad.
inspired learnings? Only 6.
I heard you got some. I heard you got 2.
Yeah, that's
You
crazy.
you gotta sell them, man. You gotta put them back into the economy.
These things can rot in my inventory for to the end of the earth. That's how many I want to contribute to the population of headhunters and inspired learning.
That's fair.
Damn.
I mean,
clear speed meta.
I feel like Headhunter and Inspired isn't that big this league compared to last league, just because of no
It
Beyond.
really isn't. No Beyond, no fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kinda
And
opposite.
even with like the Blight maps, it doesn't really make a difference. Like you're finishing them at around the same speed and you're getting the same amount of loot from them.
Yeah. We didn't even use the Headhunter this push. We just stuck with Biscos the whole way. Just
Yeah, I think
why
that's
spend
faster.
80x on Headhunter?
Yeah,
just
yeah,
80x on like maps or stones or something instead.
Pistols and sextants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not a much point in Headhunter. I think I wouldn't use one if I found one this thing.
I mean, you're a summoner.
I'm not. I don't have a summoner. Well, I do. I tried making a
Well, you
skeleton
did.
summoner,
Had
but I
one,
can't
had
afford
one.
it.
Right? During the push?
Yeah,
not
but I
like-
can't sell it then anyway.
I would put it if I was in your shoes. I would put it on, dude. That'd be pretty cool. Why not?
Yeah, no, maybe like for the push. I had a shit belt to be fair,
Yeah.
but I meant more like if I found one now. I don't think I have any character that I
Right.
really want to use it on.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, I'm doing I'm trying to make one skeleton summoner, which I can't really afford to do because I'm a Juggernaut. And it works really well on a Necromancer, but I'm like losing out a lot by being Juggernaut. I wanted to do something like similar to Herald of Agony, but faster. Which I still think works. It should have like 2.2 million damage. But I need like a 6-link helmet. So that's expensive, and I can't afford that because fossils are non-existent this league. And-
Fossils?
yeah, it's so much harder to get fossils
Why?
because they don't start really appearing behind walls much until you're sub 100. Whereas before you could like farm fairly cheaply with like not using a lot of sulfite at like around level 60 or 75 and get loads. Oh no, I think it was like 90 plus last league too, but it was a lot cheaper last league.
Don't we get a lot of fossils from the mechanic though?
Not a lot.
Nah.
And there's so few people playing hardcore trade league.
No, you don't.
Okay, I guess yeah, there's not enough to buy off for sure.
Yeah, like bound fossils are 9C each at the moment. Not great.
This is what you need to start doing, sis. Make a few old accounts. Stack up those Nikos.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing like 30 or 35. Dan told me that you have to be logged into the accounts at least once per day to get a daily, but other people are saying that's not true.
I mean, how hard is that?
Just log in once, spend 10 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the new strat for GSF, right? We just
Yep.
feed sulfite to one guy, and we just have everyone else rolls up level 60 characters so we can play daily.
Actually true. dude.
Literally true, yeah.
Wait.
Oh my god, can we talk about the drop bear shit? That was so fucking boring. I have never
Really? I thought so
hated
cool.
something so much.
Nah,
Drop
I
there?
thought it was awesome. I
I
thought
thought
it
it was awesome too, yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
it's so boring. For those of you who don't know what the drop bear thing is, I wonder if we have a clip of Oscarm
I
dying
don't know what
actually.
it is.
I want to hear Steel's take on this.
Well, I'll wait for everyone to be caught up, I guess.
Alright,
You need,
alright.
you need to know what it is before you can hate it, right?
Yeah, I wonder if anyone has a Oscarm clip of him dying, because I can show that on stream. And you can see it in the clip, which it makes it easier to explain for people.
I got it. I've seen it like 30 times.
Nice.
I'm sure you did.
If you can link it in Twitch chat, that's easier because the Discord is full screen. Pog, awesome. Right, so this is Oscarm dying.
Right.
Now, this is actually Steel killed him with a host because he was reading his chat So he wasn't paying attention to
It's
his
pretty
health.
smart.
Yeah, it's really smart. So you should always host the rank 1 when you're trying to. Anyway, yeah, because he just wasn't looking at. But basically, how it works is that you find a drop bear zone like this, which has a specific name I can't remember, burrowed or something. And then once you found that, preferably at item level 83, you want to find it with as short as travel distance as possible. So you only use 5 or 600 sulfite. Yeah, Growling Den. You want to find one with like 5 to 700 sulfite per turn. And then all you do is you repetitively run to the Growling Den, and you have a timer. As soon as the first drop bear drops, you start your timer, and then you have 18 seconds where you can kill the monsters. And as soon as it's in around 18 seconds, you log out. And then you just repeat. And this is really good
Right.
XP. It's around like super min-max. It's around 40 to 45 mil XP at level 99.
It's pretty high. But I never saw anyone get close to those numbers though.
Maybe just like 35. Maybe I'm overselling it.
So 40 to 45 sounds a bit nuts. All right, Steel. Everyone knows now. Give us the take.
So it seems to be really divisive. Some people think that the trade-off of sulfite for no loot, but increased XP. Well, here's my take on it, actually, before I get too much into that. I think it's logging out. Now, you didn't see Oscar do that, which he should have done.
Yeah.
But logging out at the end of every run, I reckon, is what does it. I reckon that's what tilts people. Because it's like, every 20 seconds you're logging out to reset this node. Every 20 seconds you're logging out. Nobody... Well, like I said, some people think it's cool because I like the trade-off of XP, but no loot. But logging out at the end of it, I guess it's just like cancer gameplay or something. A cancer game mechanic. Like if every ladder push was just literally someone logging out every 20 seconds to reset this node, it would be kind of... Like, I
If you're
get
like
that.
portaling out, then I get people probably would have been like fine, I suppose, but like just log out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I did see a lot of people straight up calling it an exploit. I don't feel like it's an exploit at all because, like Steel said, it's a big trade-off. It still costs sulfite, and it's something you can only do for max like what 20 minutes every few hours. So it's not like it's not like people were coming and saying, oh my god, so this is what the race has become, and obviously it's not. But I still found it really boring. I did not enjoy doing it, and I mean, I love loot. So just like the absence of loot kind of killed it for me, I guess.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I love skipping
this is
loot,
fine.
dude. I don't need loot. I want XP. Gimme.
I mean,
don't know,
yeah.
I think this is fine, honestly. It's like you're spending, you only have so much sulfite. You're not getting any maps. You're not getting anything. Like all the other stuff that I mean, it's just you're just dumping a resource as fast as you can. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, when I first heard Oscar and Ziz were doing it, I said that was a mistake, especially because I knew Ziz was complaining about maps. I mean, my chat tells me that. I got spies. But yeah, Ziz was complaining about maps the entire time. And when I heard he was doing this, I thought it would hurt him in the long run. But when I found out how efficient and how much XP it was giving, that's when I changed my mind and realized this is the strat, or a strat at least.
So I actually felt the same. I actually thought the same. I was like, this is gonna... Because I only learned of it from Oscar. Because he didn't start up his stream, but he was getting like, at 97 or 98, like crazy amount of XP, like 40, 45 on PoE Racing. And I was like, what the fuck? How is he getting so much XP? And a couple of people in my chat, they were like, he's drop bear farming. And I was like, what the fuck is drop bear farming? And they taught me how to do it. And I was like, but... I'm not going to get any maps, and like my map pool is already struggling. Like in the race, my map pool bricked so hard. Like I went from having like 10 plus tier 16s, lots of 15s, lots of 14s, all the way down to doing tier 10s and 11s. And I was like, how am I going to win this race? And my strat for that was Delve, but I didn't find a single outpost or anything. There's just nothing down there. And that, like, I honestly feel like when they moved everything up, like you made like earlier on be deeper in actual like monster level, I feel like they didn't move up like cities and fossil walls and stuff like that. I feel like they're still at the same as it was last league.
Dude, the 6 socket recipe for me did not exist. That comes from the Abyssal City.
Yeah, I don't have
could
it.
not find one, and I needed
Huh.
one so bad, and I could not believe that I hadn't found one yet. So I think that's true. I think they did something.
Yeah. Like, and I got one, and I got so excited because I was like, "Here is my big map pool." And it was just one. It was a 1x1 city. I was like, "Really? Are you kidding me?" And this was like while I had breaked my map pool, so I was very sad. And Oscar ended up breaking his as well, like his map pool. How was your map pool, Steel? Because you were actually, I haven't tried to change a different gateway again. Let's try being in Western USA.
Alright. Is this a buff? Is this a buff? Are we
You look
good?
pretty buffed. But yeah, Steel, how was your map pool and everything?
Now my map pool was amazing. I don't know if I'm just really, really lucky. I'm really, really lucky, right? Because my map pool was insane. I think I had like 100+ shaped maps. Like I don't know. I was fine.
Wow.
So what were you doing differently that Ziz was not doing?
Sacrifice more goats. Rubbed Chris Wilson's head. You know,
Ah.
did some push-ups. You know, I don't know.
Like, I was running prophecies and stuff. I was like min-maxing with like rolling like monstrous and like the bounty treasure for like extra strong boxes. I was even running ambush now and again. And I just when I had the monstrous treasure or like this 500% quant thing, and I ended up spamming the turning tier 10 maps into tier 15s. Like I used like 300 or 400C on that.
I didn't have to do any of that. Just get lucky, lol.
Damn.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
I put
No,
so
on
much
that
effort into
note-
my map pool.
On that note, it was so interesting because I'm chilling, right? I'm ranked 3 gaming. I'm having a good time, and I'm watching you and Oscar. I've got your chats open because again, I'm just chilling, and you two were like both losing it over this like race and the resource and map pool race that you two had. Like it was like a mental. It was so cool to see the mental fight going on here because it was all mental. You both were like, I give up almost like several points out the race. You're like, this map pool situation is tilting me out of the race. But you were both like neck and neck. We were both struggling. Yeah, it was just super interesting.
It was for me like the longest race I've been in because in like other races, it's been like really close for a while, like not very long, and then somebody has died or something, and then it's just coasting and cruising. That happens in quite a lot of races, but in this one, for me, like it was like 45 or 48 hours or something where we were within like 10 million XP of each other. So I was like, what? It was so tiring. Like I was trying to not take breaks. I was just like min-mapping. I had like HAVOC in the back of my head going like downtime, Monka S downtime. So I was just like
Posted
go,
in the
go,
chat a couple
go.
times, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
dude, what are you doing, man? Put the map in.
Yeah.
That's
So I've never ever min-mapped that hard for so long. It was exhausting.
Yeah, and when after you two disappeared off the ladder, when I had to do my push, I didn't have an Oscar. You know what I mean? I didn't have that. So everyone was like, "You're going so slow. Why are you going so slow?" But I didn't have an Oscar. I need an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we can already start talking a little bit about the league race. And like, I feel Steel nailed it by saying this was one of the most anime ladder pushes ever. Because for those of you who don't know, I was rank 1 for a very long time. I think since 87, right? And Oscar was like right behind me. And then Oscar like deleted his character and was like, you know what, fuck this, because I started pulling ahead a lot at the end. And as Oscar deleted his character, I think somebody like watched the VODs and stuff, and it was within 2 seconds after that I died, which is crazy
It's
timing.
insane. It's actually insane.
Yeah, Method has the best script writers, eh?
That's
It's
They
an
do.
it's
Next
an amazing
level,
story.
dude. And then Oscar restores his character because both me and Steel was like, dude, like you should still push. And then he dies to reading chat after a Steel host.
I thought he was typing in chat actually.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't have a mic.
Yeah,
so it
well,
was
he has
calculated on
one.
my
He doesn't
end.
want to use it.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Apparently he said, "Oh, I died," That's the only words he
Yeah.
spoke.
That's crazy. It was so good though. It was really fun. Like, it was a fun league to race in, I guess, because there were so many like struggles. Like, I feel like Legion would be a little. I don't know. Legion, you got so much stuff. But this day, oof. But I don't know. I mean, Legion was super rippy as well. So yeah, that was like SteelMage's third win in a row in SSF. But not only that, HAVOC also won the softcore trade league push. So congrats to you
Along
both.
with the boys, of course. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who were you playing with? Somad and.
Somad, Tai Killer, Quantric, and Hui.
Awesome.
So I can expand into that if you want.
Yeah,
I
yeah. What
suppose.
kind of builds were you
What
guys
do you want to
playing?
hear about it? Anything in particular, or like
Loads.
What do you want to hear?
Loads. We have lots of time. Like, tell us about the
Loads,
builds
okay.
and the strats.
So, it was basically a practice run. We kind of had no idea how it was gonna go, since like a lot of people like have school and then at work and stuff too. So we're just like, let's just like group together and just see where it goes, right? And we ended up winning, I suppose. Just not bad for a practice run, I guess. So yeah, like the first 2 days are basically just doing league mechanics and chaos recipe. I was slowly dying inside just because like every time we do a blight, I'm just like, I'm literally standing still for 1 minute right now. And it was pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie, dude. It was pretty rough. And then I think on the 3rd day we started skipping blight, and I immediately got happy again. I noticed. So that's kind of how the blight league mechanic went. So yeah.
What builds were you all playing?
Money. I was playing Tornado Shot early on. Oh, then I actually I wanted to stick to Tornado Shot, but it started crashing so much, and there was like this weird bug where it would actually crash OBS and sometimes other random stuff. Like one time it turned off all my monitors. Taita had it once where it turned off his monitors and it started like blaring this like weird siren sound out of speakers. It was like the craziest bug. And like if you're playing hardcore, it would have been pretty bad. So I wouldn't die when the crash happened, but everyone else in the map would die. And we crashed like 30 times or something in one day. So every time they died, they're like, my XP. And I was just like, well,
I have a pretty good funny story about the crashes.
Yeah.
So, and I found this out like much later. So I had the same thing where it messes up your entire PC, right? So it murdered the stream for like 5 minutes. I rebooted everything, but OBS was still open, but it wasn't open. But I just opened it anyway, and that's when I started getting the double alerts, right? And people noticed I was getting the double alerts. And then I did a rippy boss fight, and then they did the 7777, but it was double. So it was like 777, it was like, I don't know if there's like a clip or something, but and that killed me.
Oh man.
Yeah. Because and then that was basically when I was like, nah, I'm done with the race, because that was it. That was the rip at 93 to Mastermind, and that's when I decided to quit, pretty much. But chat told me to reroll it because obviously I knew you were gaming, so.
Right. It's a good thing you did.
Yeah.
And HAVOC, how was the competition on Software Trade League? Was there a lot of any other teams or?
There was another group that was kind of close. So like both groups, like their group and our group, we kind of like went in going, okay, day 1, day 2, we're just gonna make a lot of money, right? Because like we figured that if anyone was gonna like really hit 100 fast, they're just gonna buy a bunch of 5-ways, a bunch of pure stones. But they kind of like just didn't really make money because I think they did a lot of league mechanic, and we didn't really make a lot of money either. And then we started skipping league mechanic, and we started having fun, and we started making way more money just mapping normally. So yeah, there was only like really kind of one group, but even then, it was basically just us. But it would be cool to have more. That would be pretty cool in the future.
I'm showing the race to 100 XP now. Crazy how much XP like Ty had in the early on. I've linked it in chat for those of you who wanna. It's a really cool YouTube channel. He makes these for every league now, and I love watching them. You can.
Cool. So we learned something really cool this race. So the whole time we were kind of just focusing on making money, which is why like we didn't even care about the ladder rank, right? But what we learned is like you basically want to treat this race, or I guess even like a soft trader, it's like group SSF in my opinion. Because like trade API was like essentially down like day 1, day 2, and even like day 3, day 4 was like basically not there. The idea kind of is like, if you get a lot of XP early on, right, it kind of saves money like later on, if that makes sense. So I say even like a trade league, it's essentially group SSF at the start.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm part of that is why I've started like really favoring being doing the hardcore SSF races. I would definitely enjoy like an official group found more.
Yeah, same.
But like with like up to 6 people that you lock in. But I feel like it's very hard for people, especially on hardcore trade league, to get teams because somebody ends up doing a trader and then other people feel like they need one. Look at that XP.
Dude, I can see in the graph every time they die, their XP goes down.
Yeah.
That's probably every time we crash, their XP literally goes down.
Yeah, there's like a red bar every time someone dies, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. You can see us sleeping right now on the stream.
Yeah, no, I love watching these bars, and on hardcore they're really cool too, because you just see like a skull appear and then they just fade off the ladder. And yeah, I've linked it in chat if anybody wants to check out the channel. It's really, really good.
It's pretty cool.
So did you? What were you? The other people playing? Was it 2 supports or 1? You said.
So Tai Killer day 1, he ran essentially like the race build, the Orbistorm's Elementalist. So his strat was to like progress Atlas and then set it up, and we're gonna farm T16s on his Atlas. He played like a boss killer / trader, and then Soma did a similar thing, also doing boss killer / trading type of thing. He did assassin Orbistorm essentially, really good for 5 link. Then we did some type of like summoner. Yeah, it's like a really weird summoner variation, like different from you guys. So I don't really know exactly. It's like something with zombies and some other crazy stuff. It did like crazy damage. He was killing like pure Chula like almost instantly. It was crazy.
Wow. Anime weapon maybe?
Patrick was doing support, essentially like respect support like pretty early on. Then yeah, our goal is just 2-player party quad, make money for the team and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, that's smart. And how many hours, like how long were your sessions and stuff? Were you doing crazy long sessions?
That's actually one of the this is one of the reasons why I really like the trade league, because I don't have to do the crazy sessions that you guys did this league. So I think day 1 was 16 hours, day 2 16 hours, day 3 was 14 hours. Then the last day we did 18 hours for 98 to 100. And we got 6 to 8 hours every night. And even during those sessions, we took so many breaks. We took breaks to eat full meals and stuff. I mean, even one time, I think on like day 3, Tai had to go do homework for like 30 minutes. Like, let's just take a break. So
that sounds pretty cozy.
Good. Yeah, it was a very cozy push. It was good. Very healthy, lots of breaks. It was nice.
Huh. Well, that's pretty cool. We're almost at level 100 here as well. Wait, 53 mil XP per hour?
Yeah, it's not even like updated. Pure Chulas, I think we're giving like 130 mil or something, if that like updated properly. Yeah.
There is a video for
that was only 1/3 though. Only 1/3 of the 99 was stones, I suppose.
There is a video for the hardcore SSF race as well, and Noogie, you were like, for a while it was like you, me, and Steel were like top 4 basically.
Yeah, it was.
Was there anything in particular that like made you not like it?
Yes, I killed Shaper, and I was like, "This is fucking boring." And that's literally. I'm sorry, but that was literally like what I thought. Cause I've never felt in playing PoE and being in a race and actually having a shot and going all the way, that my character progression didn't matter anymore. It was really, I don't know. It was just, I was just really sad. I was actually sad when I did it, because I didn't, from entering maps to killing Shaper, I never felt I had to stop. It was just like, I just did the tiers. I did them with like double damage mods all the way up. There was like no struggle. I go in, I was like, normally at this rate with my current gear, I would probably struggle on the Chimera or whatever. I go into Chimera, I see my Spectres, they just like blast the door and the ads are just gone. And so I'm like, wait, really? Really? Yeah.
So is it just like,
I
it's
don't know.
too easy type of thing?
I really need the game to throw me a challenge, otherwise I can't have fun.
Well, what about private leagues though?
I mean, I don't know, like throwing out just, especially at the start of the game, I don't know. Then I have to like do my own league. I like being in the league that everyone plays in. That's fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's like where the fun is. And so if I have to make my own league and then everyone does their own thing, I don't know. I think maybe the mistake this league was playing Summoner, but I mean, you also want to compete, right? So it's like, do I compete or do I play something with progression? I don't know. It was a weird. This was a really weird league for me. I
It
gotta
sounds
say.
like so you want to play the OP. You want to play something meta and strong, right, to compete, right? But
No,
it
I just
sounded
want to
like it
know.
was
I like
too
Spectres.
strong. It sounded like the build was too
No.
strong.
It's
What
just
was
there's
it?
too much power creep. I don't know. It's just too much power creep. I don't like it. It doesn't make me have fun.
There definitely is a lot of
Yeah.
power creep. Like anointments are insane. Because a lot of the time when I'm like, for example, even on my Herald of Ice build now, the only reason I go like on the bottom right side of the tree is Heartseeker, which I can just anoint now, and then I can grab like the Silent Life Wheel instead.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I think I had got Throat Seeker or something on my amulet for free. I was like, hey, 30 multi, why not?
Yeah.
Plus 12% deeps, let's go.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
And it makes me kind of sad though, like not being excited. But it's just I don't know. I think part of it as well is like obviously there's the whole WoW thing coming, which I was like, I mean, I had fun with that, or I have fun with that. So that probably drew me away a little bit. If this wasn't like everything.
yeah, WoW has been a lot of fun. I'm like probably gonna play that like later at some point. It's like crazy how close this race was.
I'm surprised you and Rise and Noogie. I mean, I'm surprised you were able to pull the hours during the 100 race, because when you tired at all, or because I'm still tired, right? I'm still
exhausted. Because yeah,
Yeah,
like
I'm
for those of you watching who don't know, me and Noogie flew home from Las Vegas 2 or 3 days before the start, and then if at least for me, it was just like pumping out like league start content and build guides, and then right into the race. Man, rip, feels bad.
Yeah.
Just Oscar revise
Yeah.
from the dead.
Oh, feels bad. I really thought I had this.
I mean, I think
Dude.
all the way up to like when I was still rank 4, I was sleeping 7 hours plus a night, straight up.
That's something that was okay. So the first day I slept 10 hours.
Wow.
The second night I slept 7 or 8, and then I sort of, because I wasn't planning on pushing this league. I kind of ETUP'd this league, because I feel like what ETUP does is ETUP's gonna just push at his normal pace, and if he's rank 1, then he goes hard. And that's sort of what I did. I was like, fuck, I'm rank 1. I mean, I guess I'll
Sounds
push.
like Steel actually did the ETUP for this
Yeah.
league.
No, I actually did not do the ETUP. I wanted to win. I queued up, right? Booted up the stream, was in the queue, went AFK, had a shower, came back, quick shower, 5 minutes, came back, booted from the queue because I crashed, right? I was one of the people affected by the client crashes early on. I think they patched it 2 hours. Booted up the queue again, like complained, like, oh, baby rage, and I'm 10k, kicked 18k, baby rage, 28k. I got in like an hour late or something.
Damn.
And then
I
I died.
too.
Yeah. And then I died. And then I re-leveled and gassed, and I actually made it back to top 10. And then I died again. Then I re-leveled again, and then I died. So it's been a heck of a league for me. I was trying though, man. I wasn't e-topping. I was trying. Like I really wanted this. So
I mean,
First
then
character
everyone-
maybe ETUPing a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I had to pay off some assassins, but
Ah. Well, I
How'd
mean,
you pull
after
that off?
dying so much, you still got rank 1, so that is pretty cool.
yeah, backup method player, like Ziz died, and he's like, well, at least Steel's there,
Nice.
Yeah, dude, I was actually devastated by your rip. I was so upset. I just died.
Seems to be a common trend. Two proj or multi proj in league mechanics, right? Just pretty
So-
spooky, man.
Yeah, and the
Really
thing is,
spooky.
in every other league, I'd say I'm, at least with like map mods, I'm usually very, very anal about rerolling stuff. Like I normally always reroll crit, and I always reroll multiple projectiles and min-max. I just had no currency this league. I think I had like, at some point, I like had no alks. I had to like start transmuting a couple of 13s and stuff. Yeah, and reflect. So at the moment, the only thing I could really afford rerolling this league was sometimes like crazy like 3 damage maps. And I would reroll maps with like reflect or things that would slow me down like no regen or reflect, just because I had to keep up with Oscar. So I definitely would have rerolled that map. I think I had 6 alchemies or something left. So I was like, it's a 13 or 14. It's not like it's a 16, right? And I hadn't really had many close calls. Like I didn't really feel much in danger because I had the bone armor and I had the Val Molten Shell, and when both of those were active because they stack, that put me at 14 or 15,000 pure life, which is pretty beefy. And that would be up for like 50-60% of the map. And then I had the fact that the bosses hadn't really done much damage to me before.
Yeah.
It turns out the only other close call I had was this boss as well, but I hadn't really analyzed it enough.
I don't think it was the bosses when I watched the clip. It was the flame golems.
But that
actually.
comes from the boss.
The boss spawns the flame golem.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Then,
Yeah. So in hindsight, with what I know now, I would have skipped anything with bosses in Legion.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I started doing as well. I can even link you a clip if you want to, or a YouTube
Yeah.
video if you want to watch, of a one shot to a boss. It wasn't even like a multi-pro. It's not even multi-pro. Just the bosses themselves are dangerous.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah. So
One shot.
most of the time, I felt like as long as I wasn't standing on the path, I wasn't taking much damage.
Yeah.
Sense.
What?
Wait, what was that? Show that again?
I don't
Trying.
know how he died.
I think at the end.
Got hit.
He gets shocked as well. Is he capped on lightning?
He is overcapped. Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Huh.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
No
that
basalt up?
yeah, no flasks up. But I think he mentioned he had some other defense. But that was the moment because I knew when Ziz died, I looked at the map mods. I'm like, you know. But when I
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
that rip, that was just one damage mod. So that's when I stopped doing the bosses at 99 because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna die like that. That'd be garbage. So
It is pretty garbage. It doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
I was so sad. Definitely didn't feel good.
I
But
was really surprised watching you running double proj like crit. Because I know like I've talked to you like multiple times, like either running either one of those. I'm like
yeah, I normally don't run
insistent
either.
on never running them. Yeah.
I actually,
I'm
so you
really
mentioned-
surprised that you allowed both of them.
I'm
like, I could see
poor!
you, like just accept one of them. But,
I run out of Alex all the
yeah,
time.
but even then, like I'm still surprised that you keep like
Well-
the two scariest ones.
You got to keep in mind the same logic that led Oscar to delete his character is the same logic that led Ziz to run that map because they were both neck and neck mental warfare.
That's true.
So
No, that's true.
yeah, but I wanted to ask actually, did you try running Ellie Reflect on your solo guards by swapping in the Elemental Army support? Because I didn't try it, and apparently that
No, I
might be the play.
didn't.
Oh, that's enough.
Because it gives maximum resistance is the thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I think
could
the
work.
strat that I would have changed now in the future. So I probably should have done it earlier, but I was so desperate for Alex that I didn't. But early on, I taped Residence to get an early 6-link, and I farmed 2 6-links from Residence. And I wanted to like Val them for +2 as well. I didn't manage to Val ending, they both bricked, and I actually got a bestiary split as well, so I split one of my 6-links. I think
Oh.
I had 5 or 6 6-links in 5 days. And I Valed, I also had 5 Tabulas. I didn't get any good corruptions on my 10 or 11 6-link Vals.
Crazy.
So that was pretty brutal, and I really wanted like more damage so I could like just run more, and have no downtime. But in hindsight, what I really would have liked to have done would be to to shape Maze, because Maze only vendors into Shaped Underground Sea. And Underground Sea is so big for Alk sustain. And it was also really good XP.
Kind of feel like the card drop rate has been nerfed Underground Sea. I haven't ran that many, but like, was it good this week? How was it?
It definitely isn't like popping off, but
Yeah.
it was huge for my Alk sustain.
Okay.
Seemed
Yeah, I wasn't
pretty
sure.
normal to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely. I agree. It still drops a lot. So, just having more would have been big. It definitely still drops in Underground Sea. Because I didn't do any mineral pools and I handed in 12 or 13 sets. But yeah, no, it was would have helped a lot.
What kind of Atlas strat did you guys end up rolling? Did you have like a goal in mind before?
Yes.
Me or Steel?
You can start with
To the
Havoc.
floor.
Oh, you can start with Steel too? I'm going first every time. Let's go Steel this time.
Okay, all right, I'll go first. So I wanted to do, so first of all, I wanted to know which quadrant to start with, because the way you progress Atlas, specifically Shaped Atlas, is by keeping your influence in one corner and progressing it into the reds. So I decided to do the bottom right, so I started with Pier. So I kept that corner a tier or two ahead of the others. I progressed that, and then I did a very ethical interaction regarding shaped orbs and elders. You know, very ethical.
Yes.
And then that was like, yeah, that just makes it so much easier. If they actually remove that, it's gonna be so much RNG in SSF because you need an actual red elder then. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of hope they don't fix that.
Same.
Don't look up what it is, because keep it quiet.
It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, why are you saying this on a podcast?
Yeah.
Because it's ethical. It's fine. It's no big deal. It's
That's
fine, right?
Still's an
We
ethical
cool,
player.
right?
No, they've already fixed it. Like someone said, they've already fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fixed. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
And
yeah.
then what?
Then, so I went for, now I actually think Ziz had a stronger setup for pure XP, but I went for Elder Haunted Mansion, what do you call it? Toxic Sewers, which probably ended up being a mistake because
Really?
it's like really sketchy on a summoner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you don't instantly pop the packs. So there's a few moments where I'm like, gritting my teeth because
Yeah.
it's so dense. It's a really good map, but then you're shield charging what it feels like naked into this massive pack of mobs and just hoping they get bopped or hoping you don't get bopped. But yeah, but I actually think Dunes was the better play there purely for their because here's the thing, right? Feeling safe is clear speed, because if you don't feel like you can
True,
shield
yeah.
charge
Yeah.
through those packs, you lose XP. So I actually think Dunes was the better play. And then I did a bunch of other maps, like, you actually have choices at those lower tiers, it feels like tier 14 and below.
Yeah.
I did see multiple from multiple different people, multiple different choices there. I could bring it up if I have it. But yeah, those open layouts proved to be better. I feel like what Ziz did, was definitely correct.
What about you, Nugi? Did you do any like strat for the Atlas?
I mean, I did the. I was kind of like trying to figure out what I thought would be best. I did the residence. That was like the only like real thing. I kept like I just stayed kind of like in coves and in what's the other thing for a while. The one that leads terrace. They were actually pretty good. Like very linear, open enough. They were actually really good XP if you're just like chaining them. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for like the 16, 15, 14. I don't think there was anything that really stood out because like Toxic Sewer obviously is the fastest XP map you can get as a T10. I think if it's like you have the right setup within that tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure what else. Like what's the for Spectres? What's the optimal one there? I couldn't really
Definitely
see
Dunes.
it. Yeah,
what
that's
is there?
actually Dunes was the one I was
Okay.
the least like to run. What's the one that leads up from Dunes? Like the map before? Scriptorium, right?
Yes.
Think
I-
so.
I
Yeah.
think
I was
so,
thinking
which
maybe
is-
doing like Scriptorium and Dunes. Or I would do like a right side strat maybe, where I keep in the I was thinking maybe do Grotto and then do some of the what's the other map? There's like a 13 map up there. I think a lot of people ran. God, I can't remember. What's the 13 red map that you shape? Like the or 8 map at the
Sepulchre or
top? No.
Wait, what corner?
Volcano?
Volcano.
Yeah, Combs card and stuff.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe I just do like Volcano and an Elder up there, and then have my influence set up on my my Elder map, and just have it easy that way. I think Grotto could be pretty good. It's like
Yeah.
open enough to where you have space to go through with your specters.
So
I think that's for money too.
Yeah. I didn't actually have like a massive plan going into this, except for like I'd planned out my like tier 10 to 15 shaped, but I didn't have any like, oh, I'm gonna start in the bottom left corner, I'm gonna go to the like that. I didn't plan out at all. I just like started and just hunted down the shaper influence and just went for trying to get like a really early elder, and I got so screwed because I did get a yellow elder and I shaped it, and then I got like all the maps I needed. Except I couldn't get, I think it was a plaza or something. Shrine or plaza. It was whatever. Yeah, it's a shrine, which is because my elder was on iceberg at tier 10, which I shaped into tier 15, and then I had no way of dropping a shrine because I couldn't run icebergs, and that was really a big oof. And then I managed to horizon orb a shrine after like 1 or 2 hours of farming. I go into the shrine. And then the map crashes and I lose my shrine.
No.
And I think that was the heaviest tilted I've been on stream in a long time. I literally like borderline screamed. I was like, no, because it was so big. It was, and the race was still so close, and this was like what I needed. And I ended up spending like 5 or 6 hours total trying to get a shrine, and it was so rough. And I had to like time the other guardians. Like, okay, let's see, 19 maps since the last one, do 1 guardian. And then like keep grinding for Horizon Orbs. And I'm like, Cassia or whatever her name is, please give me Horizon Orbs. I need them. And I did eventually manage to get it, but I was very tilted. Oh yeah, and the delve nodes, that was so screwy as well. That like made me
really
so
annoying.
angry because I would go, I was the deepest delver. I'd put so much effort into it because I was like, what if there's not, what if I was trying to prepare for like being shafted on maps, and I was like, ooh, delve is so good on maps. Let's go deep down. And then I got like stuck, had to go around, stuck, and I was like, come on. And then people are like, oh, they fixed it. Nope, stuck, because there was another one that I was stuck on. So that was pretty shitty. But as for like tier 10 to 15 maps and stuff, a lot of people were like, "This, weren't you doing toxic?" And I'm like, I'm not doing toxic as a summoner. There's just no way. Like, it's so scary on builds where you're not like insta killing and you have to like convocate something in.
Yeah, I was clench.
Yeah.
I ended up changing my mind like maybe 50% of the way through, because I'm like, if I die shield charging through this, I'm gonna feel like a Pepega. So.
Yeah. And I wasn't
Damn,
convinced.
hearing you guys talk about that literally reminds me of like burning miscreations and like Nemesis League, because that's literally how you played. You ran like 2 granites and like just all the tank pots, 2 HP pots, and it's like you ran into mobs. The burning miscreations would teleport on top of you, and just you pray the mobs die before you did, essentially. And
oh, nice.
sounds exactly like that. So it's kind of cool.
And
I was thinking about one play you could do with the Toxic Sewer, actually. You would run what's it called? Bone offering. Always. There's literally just bone offering. Because what you lose, right? So flesh offering is really good for clear speed, right? Open maps. But Toxic Sewer, high mob count, as long as you can just survive everything, you're super tanky. You just go with the bone offering all the way through, and you can just sit in there.
I tried bone
Literally just sit in
offering,
there.
and I felt like my survival dropped a lot. Because it gave me, I think I had 46% attack block and 16 spell block. Because I didn't have a roomies, and that was not enough at all. Like that's so many attacks are still going through. Yeah, right. Okay, that makes sense. So with like 46-16, I was like flesh offering, and the speed of the specters and stuff is so much more survival. Because I was gonna do that for Minotaur, and like just like tank him, but it was just it was so scary. And I ended up changing builds through the league. I was very happy with how that went, because initially I had popcorn bees, So like summon Raging Spirits with the minion instability, and that was so much damage. And I feel like that really benefited me early on, because the Guardians and stuff, that was like pop, very easy.
Yeah.
So why'd you swap away from that build? I thought that build was like really cool.
It was really cool, but it was slower than Spectres, because on SRS you have to summon, right? You have to like
Right.
summon every 3 seconds, whereas with Unleash, with Spectres, I was just running. But I was very happy with how I swapped. Like I did Shaper as bees, and then I swapped. That was sort of my goal. And it was so easy damage. And like if my zombies died, I just keep laying down bees, and it was fine.
Nice.
Somebody, I'll bring up a picture somebody made, which I thought was beautiful. But you guys can keep talking. Did you guys do any major changes to your builds at all?
No.
No. Kinda, but go ahead still.
Well, when everyone else has died, I respect every single life node I could get my hands on. So I did that. Then I crafted all my gear to have maximum life. So that was cool.
Nice.
And then I nearly died anyway.
Oh,
Did you see that? Wait, have you guys, Noogie and Havoc, have you seen it? The like super
Some
close call.
DD?
I think I did, yeah.
Was it
I
a
remember that.
DD?
Yeah,
I think I
so
saw it.
obviously minions are a bit of a mess on the screen sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was just trotting along. I was telling a story about my league stuff, having a good time. Boom, nearly dead. Turns out I walked into a bunch of revenants. I thought I flesh offering, so I thought I'd be fine to be standing there, but I guess just lacking critical information. So, but I was saved by my energy shield, which is the funniest part.
And speaking of telling stories, how much do you feel the difference is in between streaming the race to 100 and just no-lifing it without streaming? Because I feel, Steel, you're like the most recent one.
Yeah. So I feel like an old man or something. I feel like something's off with me, but I think it's just I have to actually not be a complete degenerate when I'm on stream. I can't like just can't do that. I have to actually be a human being. So I used to be able to do like 40 hours. Now I taper out about the 24-hour mark, and it's a real struggle to make it to 30. So that's the main difference for me. But it is way it is way more fun. Like just in general, I felt like I was literally grinding when I was doing the 40-hour pushes off stream. Like just literally, like it felt like glacier farming for 40 hours, right? But on stream, it's way more fun. So I mean, I guess that's the trade-off, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to like stop after like 28 hours, 24 hours, and sleep for 6. Like it's not
Arguably better in some cases, some ways.
yeah. So, but then you get the whole reading chat aspect during the middle of a map. That's probably not a great idea either.
Yeah, that's killed me a lot.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how much your reading chat says. Even like when you're neck and neck, I was like, wow, what's going on?
I felt like I wasn't reading chat at all. I was even apologizing because I didn't read chat in maps anymore, pretty much. And I was like apologizing every few maps. I was like, by the way, sorry guys, I usually read chat more than this.
Yeah, like when I want to stop reading chat, I just turn the music up really loud and make it a thing, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause,
music
I
is
feel
huge.
guilty as well.
On one vein, I would feel guilty, but on the same vein, it's like, yo, it's time to try hard, boys. Like, let's go. Like, so I might not be like talking to chat, but they get to like enjoy the show. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
I will literally minimize chat and not even look at it, and just like, all right, man, downtime. Well, it was 1 second too long between maps. What am I doing? Let's go. You know?
Yeah.
No, I feel the same way. Like when you try hard, when you really go for it, you're in the zone. It's gaming. That's like what Pee-wee racing is all about. That's when it's awesome. Like that's when it's awesome.
It is really cool. So
But you do need. Sorry. I was just gonna say that it helps to have an Oscar behind you when you're doing
it
that.
really does.
I know Havoc. I know when Havoc's pushing, like the ideal mentality to have, and I would love to be able to do this. I'd love to be able to flick the switch where you can race yourself, I guess, right? Where you have these splits. I can turn it on a little bit for like a little bit, but it's a lot easier when there's someone there reminding you every 2 seconds that they're gonna beat you if you don't put that next map in instantly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I feel like even in past races, whenever you're watching somebody like be rank 1 and rank 2, if rank 2 dies, rank 1 just like slows down so much. It's like, oh,
Yep.
I can chill, I can eat. This is good.
Yeah, like
I-
like my toxic grip clip. I mean, it's not toxic. I get to be a human, you know?
I
Yeah,
mean,
talk to chat, relax, you know?
Yeah.
It's great.
pretty toxic. Pretty toxic mage.
It's
I
all
just get
good
to be
fun. It's
human.
alright.
Yeah. No, it was it was a crazy race. Like even if I didn't win, had so much fun this race. So that was good.
It's good.
What did everyone steal? What did you end up anointing?
So I went for a Ravenous Horde, which is not, well, it's not that interesting of a pick because it's like the obvious pick. I feel.
Yeah.
It's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a really good node. So, but early on, I thought I don't know if anyone else has any input into this, but early on, diamond skins like really good,
Yeah.
really cheap. Like, is there something better than that? Because I felt like that was, and it turned out we could get it like before maps even. I think.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, it's pretty good.
I think the only argument against Diamond Skin is that it's pretty easy to fix your resist, unlike Summoner. So I
Yeah.
think that's like it wasn't that necessary, but it's a nice thing to have. I think a lot of builds could definitely use that. Stats in general is really good. It's super cheap, right?
Yeah,
Just make the decks,
so
20
nice.
decks.
Especially for
done.
leveling new characters. Getting 30 int on a career ward.
Yeah. No, it's
I
like
don't play
that's-
Summoner.
that's
What does
really nice.
Ravenous Horde do, by the way?
It's monsters get
transfer.
onslaught or chance to get onslaught when they kill.
Ooh, it's pretty big, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as a cheap, what
It's
I
actually
And movement speed and
Yeah.
damage and attack and cast speed.
It's actually almost
Nice.
as much power as the minion speed support gem. It's
Wow.
almost an extra
Yeah.
link.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
really
actually
good.
nuts.
no, like there's a lot of good nodes. Like enduring bond would have been another good one, which is the like 15% minion duration, 15% skill effect, 20% damage, and 20% damage if you use the minion skill recently. So it's like 40%
Oh,
increased
yeah.
damage. I ended up doing Aligned Spirits really early on because the SRS were pretty expensive mana wise. That's the 10%
right,
increased
that one.
mana, 15% reduced mana
Yeah.
cost, and 20% damage, and it's so cheap. I didn't even think about Diamond Skin. I didn't bother with it because I feel like it's so easy to resist cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
I actually
easy
went with
nowadays.
the mana one myself as well. That's really nice. Just being able to spam skills more.
Yeah,
Well, the thing with the diamond skin, and the reason I really liked it, is it also gave movement speed and armor. And like Sis was saying a bit earlier, the Val Molten Shell was like a huge part of the survivability. So I really liked it for that. Especially when I
Yeah.
was still using a tabula and my armor was so low already.
oh yeah, you were using bone armor too, right?
Yeah, I didn't get my Uber Lab for ages though. So
I got really early Uber Lab. Like, I think I got the last trial either. I think it was end of day 1 or start of day 2. Very
Wow.
early.
Oh,
It's
And-
fast.
And just like a PSA for everyone watching that doesn't know how to get Uber Lab trials very quickly, every time you get a Zana mission, I always check for contains a lab trial. I very rarely actually care and look at the map itself, like, because everything like sub tier 10 is something I'm going to get very easily. So I always just look at like contains lab trial. And that's how I'm able to like so easily get that. And oh my god, speaking of Zana, the new like master system is so pog for racing.
it's
It is
insane. Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Like if there
Just
was
normally playing too. It's like crazy awesome, dude.
yeah, but it's so nice. I feel like it feels so in control. Like that was just awesome.
Mhm.
Like I
That was like
Yeah,
the
my-
highlight for me.
Yeah.
From this whole thing, just being able to like actually plan out what you want to do. Like, oh, I have so many missions. I'm gonna run that, then lead into that. It felt really good.
And my only complaint, and I don't know if you guys feel this way at all, is a master like Einhar, at least just Einhar. I just never bothered to put him on my map, so he just
Same.
stockpiled forever. And I kind of
Same.
wish I could just automatically have him spawn, because he's not bad when he spawns automatically.
Yeah.
But when I have to put him on the map, I'm like, I can't be bothered. I'll not think about it.
right.
Actually, same.
So I was tryharding for the spider aura. So I was spamming Einar.
Same.
Like I really wanted to run skitter bots and spider aura was the auras I wanted to run. So I really like it.
Not
The
for
only
not
thing
pushing
I
stone?
don't like is I was so desperate for the Jun, like the betrayal one, and she can't spawn if Einar is like put on as a daily. So at the end, I like couldn't afford to run Einar and ended up with like 22 of him just because I didn't want like to miss out on a random chance of Jun.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that
it
made me sad.
feels really awkward, honestly.
Yeah, it seems like a oversight or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Bestiary is crazy. Like now that I'm like back in trailing, I'm gonna be spamming every Bestiary mission I have. I feel like Einar is so strong with like all the things we can get, like the spider and split and sixing. And I did manage to get a split one, which was pretty big.
You got a spider one?
No, I got a split, so I got an additional
Oh,
six link.
split.
Nice.
Nice. I got a 6-link. Bow.
Ah,
That's great.
yeah. Sounds like you can get another master mission while you have one active, though. I did think I did see
Oh.
that one time too, so maybe, yeah.
I didn't have that experience. In fact, I think it even so you can actually still do your daily, right? Like you can spawn Nika, for example, roll the sextant to spawn Alva, and then it won't spawn Alva.
Yeah,
So
I noticed
don't
that.
know.
So I don't think that's right either. I don't know. I did feel like I had 2 masters in one mission, but I don't know what caused that.
Yes, I definitely had that.
Yeah, but I only had that
If you would
once.
spawn one and the other one was like you'd
Yeah,
use the mission.
so I'm not really sure what caused that, but I definitely had that once. But I don't know. Maybe it's just 2 masters that can spawn together and not the others. But either way, I definitely ended up having to stockpile Einar. And it was very, especially in the race scene, very exciting every time I saw like Nico or Jun. I was just so happy.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
without Alva, I 100% would have break the map pool like so much earlier. Like the temple clutched it so hard. Oh, apparently it was a bug that you could get 2 dailies at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, my research was bugged, so I couldn't do it. So I was screwed. Yeah, honestly, if it was neck and neck between Yumi and Oscar, I would have been out of the race anyway because I
damn.
couldn't do my join dailies.
That was
Yeah.
the extra bad thing,
Huh.
is that as I died, I had finally gotten It That Fled on research, and I had 116 Chayulas and 100 and something Ulnatuls, so I could do a pure Ulnatul and a pure Chayula, which would have like solved any mapping issues I had, and I had more, like I had like enough to make like 3 or 4 ashes and softs. Like I picked up a lot of breach stones. That was part of my strat. So that was a bad time to die.
Damn.
Felt so tanky too. I was straight up gonna do a pure Chayula. So I had like 8.3k life, and I figured like if I run in and I pop Val, Molten Shell, and Bone Armor, there's no way I'm dying.
Oh, you're running
Yeah.
the actual Cholula boss?
Yeah, I was going to, yeah.
I think you could do that, yeah.
Okay.
Ziz went
Summoner's
with a
pretty
pretty
good.
defensive setup.
Yeah.
Like I saw your endurance charge.
Oh yeah, I had 3 min endurance
crafts and
charges too.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I was like beast tanky. Apparently not tanky enough for Blight, but very tanky. No, I put a lot of effort into trying to get like percentage life on my gear and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time like gearing. So it wasn't enough, but we tried.
What would Chagula drop for you in the push?
Oh, nothing. That was just to make money for
Oh.
after the push. I just
Ah,
felt very like tanky, so
Right.
I figured I would definitely at least have enough time to see if it was gonna go through my 30-second molten shell, so I could have logged out if
makes
anything.
sense.
Yeah. No, I was very surprised. Very surprised. I did do 2 pures, and I did get a lot of maps from those as well. But that was like pure soft and pure ash, so I didn't get any tier 16s for free from that. But Alva dropped so much stuff, and I tried doing the Legion event maybe a little bit too much, because early on I was still planning like, should I stay SRS? So I was hunting a Tavukai. Because that was like slowing me down a little bit, not having the SRS neck, because my SRS were detonating very slowly. So they were great single target, but not really good fast enough for rare monsters and stuff. So that was sad. How was your defenses, Steel? How much life and stuff did you have?
So before you died, I was just trying to like catch up. I wasn't planning on winning, but I was just trying to catch up. So I think I was running around with like 6.5, with like no endurance charges or anything like that.
What
Just
the
getting
fuck?
carried by Molten Shell and Steel Skin. I mean, Bona. But then after you guys died, I slowly got more and more. Like I said, I spent like a decent amount of investment getting more HP, exalting everything and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, if I hadn't have done that, it's so crazy to think I would have died. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you would have for sure. That's crazy.
Did
I
you guys
don't
try
know
out the new amulet?
which one. The the
didn't
Spectre
get
one.
it.
Didn't get
Yeah.
one drop.
No, I had one.
I think it's crazy. I think it's
What's it
crazy
do?
good.
Yeah.
What does it do?
It gives you 10% of your damage taken from hits is taken by your specters instead. It's like a mini MOM that goes on your specters.
That's pretty broken. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Or
good.
strong, I
It's
should say. I
really
don't know.
good.
Broken. Sounds strong.
It's
Yeah.
like 8 for me. I was like, it was like 800 effective life, just from the amulet, which is like way more than I could ever get on like a life amulet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
probably would have used one if I had it, but never found it.
Can't remember why I didn't use it. I don't remember
Because
now.
you curse and aura effectiveness as well, and like 30 chaos res,
What's it called again?
and it's on the deck strength base. So, I mean, it's just so good.
Do you remember what it's called?
Oh,
Oh, the Jinx
no.
Juju.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Jinx
So
Juju.
total stats is 25 chaos rest, 35 int, 14% effective curses, 13% aura effect, and 10% damage from hits is taken from your Spectre's life before you. I think I had like a crazy life amulet with like percentage life and the endurance charge too.
Right.
That makes sense to keep. Yep.
But yeah, it is really nice. I definitely considered it. It is very nice. Probably should have evolved it and tried to get something I tried to do quite a bit was every time I got like screaming or shrieking greeds, because my gloves weren't really that good. They were like 70 or 80 life and don't think they had anything special. So whenever I got like a double corrupt altar, I would try to double corrupt them because I really wanted to get Ellie weakness on hit so that I could do 2 curses.
Double curse.
And that would have been like crazy damage.
That would be really good.
Yeah, so I tried that a lot. Like every time I get a life essence, I would try to make gloves and weld them. But didn't get lucky with that. I actually have bought so many things this league and I hit anything. So, yeah. Sad face.
Oh, for you minion dudes, did you know that you can have double minion speed rolls in your rings?
Oh, fair and crafted?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't.
didn't
like
know
up to
that.
I
like
guess I just
15
learned
minion
something.
speed.
Cool.
Don't feel like you really need minion speed with the solar
No,
guards.
not with specters, because they have there's like a cap. There's a movement speed cap.
Oh, that too, but they're ranged, so.
No, but you still have them. You still want them to be faster. If they could be faster, you would want them faster to move from pack to pack.
Yeah, I noticed actually when I was watching Ziz clear that his zombies were like popping off, and I noticed his helm, and I didn't think about zombies too much because I'm a noob summoner, so I was just like trying it out. And so I really tried to craft a helm. I hit a helm, and the zombies are actually a massive part of the clear.
They're
They're
insane.
a big deal.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were
Cool.
huge. Because I had a +2 helmet with minion damage. And that was massive. I was really trying to get a minion damage, minion life helmet for SRS, but yeah, no, definitely like huge for clear speed. I was very surprised with zombies. And then you have the what's the new one? Feeding Frenzy? So good.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you can totally just make a zombie in whatever build. Honestly, you can like throw in any other minion, and the build will actually just work, just straight up. Some like every now and then, I would, for some reason, being sleepy and everything, you would do something stupid so you didn't have your specters. I would run into the map, and I'd just be like kind of like sort of clearing. I was like, wait, this is kind of slow. Where are my Oh, I'm just clearing with zombies, and it would be like in like well-rolled 15+ maps. And I was like, the zombies would just do their thing, and I only had a 4-link.
That's why I was really worried about the drop bear thing, because you have to re-summon zombies every time you log out and stuff.
Right.
And for me, like that was a bit of a struggle because I didn't have much mana left over. So I ended up re-summoning while running there, or at least while the fight was starting, just to like kill a little bit extra. But I felt like he had a bit of an advantage there with just being traps. Like he just ran there and started killing, and I couldn't do that.
Traps? You mean mines?
Yeah, mines, whatever. He was throwing them.
Freudian slip.
Whatever they were. Haven't tried traps or mines yet. It looks cool though. It looks strong. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's a grass is greener on the other side kind of situation. Like, the people I've talked to seem to think Summoner is still much, like, it's still stronger. Still the but it looked really good watching Oscar clear.
Yeah.
I was very, very surprised that we didn't see any Trickster ED in top 20. Or at least I didn't see it.
I was saying that I actually think it would have been better than Summoner.
Yeah,
honestly.
me too. I was
Really?
going to reroll Trickster ED if I died.
After the contagion nerf?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big
Do you think
deal.
there's enough density? Like, if this is flashback, I'd be like, yeah, I could totally.
I'm
agree
not.
with
I'm
you,
not sold on
but-
that one. I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that one either. Like in a essentially standard league scenario, right, where there's like nothing in the maps and stuff.
Well, for
think so
Toxic
fast.
Sewers,
Yeah.
I mean,
Toxic, yeah, toxics that would work, but
Sure.
and Scriptorium's got the density too. It's
Well, that's the
similar to
thing. Like, you would
Toxic.
have Toxic as your 15, and then I would go Haunted Mansion or City as my 16. Because I did Beach as my tier 16. Because I was so scared as a summoner of any indoor maps. So I didn't want to do Haunted. I felt like that was too scary. And I feel like the boss there can be a little spiky. Not too bad. And I hate 2-stage bosses. They're just... And the reason I didn't want to do City is I feel like one of the bosses there just like suddenly just like whops you. Like suddenly you're just dead. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
which one.
There's one that like spawns the explosions on you, right?
Yeah.
oh yeah, the underground
Yeah, that
earthquake
one's like-
thingy. Yeah,
I
that's
just
pretty
didn't want to
spooky.
deal with that while sleepy, so I was like, I'm going beach, dude, because I've never heard or seen of anyone dying to the beach boss. It just doesn't happen. So that was just
Yeah.
like a free nice tier 16 map, and it only has like 50 monsters less. So I was like, you know what, I can deal with that.
Right.
But you get the boss kill, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And people, I mean, like City is if you're like super focused and awake. Like I just came home from Vegas as well, so I was extra tired. But yeah, like the 3 bosses.
Yeah,
it's-
City Square is like
definitely
map.
nice,
So that's
yeah.
what we ended up doing as our final map. I think we started with Ashen Woods just to like let's try to make money, but it dropped like no enlightened cards and the mechanic kind of sucked. So I'm like, let's just do burial, see if we get lucky, and just skip league mechanic. Didn't get lucky, didn't get any doctors unfortunately, even though we got a juice and party quant. Then we're just like, let's get some XP, and then City Square, and yeah, it was just crazy.
Wow.
Really good XP map.
I really like how so many people had different maps. Like there wasn't just like one way to do it, and lots of people were really successful with like different maps.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Like what else? Like what they do?
I can't remember now. I mean, like both me and Steel had different maps.
Yeah. Like
I think
I
Rise had
Scriptorium,
different maps.
Toxic, and Haunted. You had what was your T14?
My
it
T4
also
was
Script-
Mudgeyser.
Yeah, so you had Mudgeyser, Dunes, and Beach. So yeah, all 3 was different. I mean,
Yeah.
Estuary. I assume. Wait, you said you did Residence, right? Did you ever switch to Estuary or?
No, I wasn't really planning to because I completed all my tier 11s.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly.
That's what
I
I would-
would have completed all my tier 12s if Underground Sea wasn't the tier 12.
The
100%.
map pool situation being bad is starting to come together.
Oh, really?
11s?
You feel like the 11s is the problem?
know.
But I was I
You
was
should never run the 11.
yeah, like I don't feel like that was the problem, especially with how much I was using on like prophecy and sack fragments and stuff. And I was 3-1ing all my tier 11s and running them as 12s.
Yeah.
What if you just had full bonus instead? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like if you have more full T11 Atlas bonus, and you get more 12s and stuff.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
Oh, I might be misheard. I thought you had a shape T11.
residence, but I had everything cleared as well. Like I farmed residence early
okay,
on,
that
but then I
makes sense, yeah.
completed every single
That
tier
makes
11 for more bonus.
Okay. Okay.
So I was pretty surprised I was struggling on maps. Like I don't know. Usually I'm popping off on maps. Usually everybody else or so many people are suffering, and I'm like, dude, maps are easy, but this thing was rough.
Yeah, it's probably just RNG.
Part of it as well, I
It's
had
just
a
one of those
lot of
leagues, you
crashes
know?
and maps disappearing. A lot.
Right.
Which was not
Yeah, I
great.
lost a few maps as well to that. They rolled
Yeah.
back too, the whole thing. I didn't even get the loot or anything.
Yeah, I started calling her Crashia. This is definitely happened a lot when I was doing Blight. So,
Really?
Huh.
For me, it was a Betrayal and Legion were like crashing like insane amounts.
after the last patch, like today or yesterday, Legion is like unplayable for me. I literally,
Oh, wow.
it is just like 3 or 4 FPS. It's like, stream is like, are you okay? I'm like, no, not really. Ah. But yeah, that was, does anyone else have any other topics they want to bring up or anything?
So,
Well-
okay, what races do you guys want to see in the future? That's a question I've been wanting to ask actually.
Yeah,
GSF.
yeah. I was gonna bring that up as well because I still don't know how I feel about softcore and hardcore racing. Like I feel like softcore has the advantage of having everyone alive at the end of the race, which is a big thing,
Right.
right? Because if you
Yeah.
look at what happened to this race, obviously I had a bunch of deaths, so I was kind of like out of it until the very end. And then obviously Ziz and Oscar's awesome. Like that's the thing, right?
I love that.
Even though I won, I would have rather watched Ziz and Oscar finish the race neck and
Do
neck.
get out, yeah, all the way to 100.
That would have been a much
Like
more
imagine if they
satisfying
both
end.
died, but then kept on going, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
I love
So-
hardcore. I love watching people die. I think it makes it so exciting. Like I could wake up and like top 3 died. I love that. I think it's so
Oh, yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the answer isn't softcore or hardcore. The answer is something in between.
Yeah,
Something
like,
that doesn't completely kick someone out of the race.
kind of like the
Right,
Exile
but-
qualifier, right? Where you have like the 1 minute death penalty.
Yeah, yeah.
So a harsher
8-hour
penalty
death
for
penalty. You get to sleep
Send-
now.
send to
I mean, what is like a harsh penalty, right? So like, let's say this was a softcore race between like Ziz and Oscar, right? And Ziz died. If he loses like 30 mil, that's like 3 hours. So if they're like neck and neck, now he's 3 hours behind. Like that seems pretty harsh to me. But I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, right? A death at 99 is a big deal. A death at level 80 doesn't really do anything, right? So, I mean, at this point, we're getting into something really complicated, though,
mean,
right?
Yeah.
But then that's the cool thing, though, right? That the deaths at the higher levels are more impactful, because
Yeah.
that does mean that there's more on the line the further you get up, and it gets more and more exciting as the race goes on if
Yeah.
someone dies. And it also means that if someone is like far ahead, right, then there's still like that death to like
Yeah,
push
that
it.
fits you back.
It
Like,
gives like a little more tension, I would say, with
Yeah.
a harsh death penalty at the high level.
Something that I really liked on the hardcore leagues that can't happen on softcore leagues is, for example, the breach race that went on for like, what was it, 18, 23 days, something like that. It was super long, right? Because like everybody kept dying, and then it was they were in your guild, right? The Australian one. There was 2 Australian guys, and they were like level 99 pushing together, and then the carry died and the support suicided. Then I had to start pushing again. I was like, oh my god, this is dragging on forever. So it was like a crazy race. And that's the race that I crashed in. I was like rank 4 again. I was like, oh, maybe I can pull this off. And then service crashed and I died. I was like, great, thanks. Oh, I don't know.
On another vein, though, like, so that was a really long race, right? I kind of like, this is probably selfish. Maybe I'm just getting old, man. I kind of like softcore because the race is just a lot shorter, right?
Right.
It's just done way faster. Like, yeah, I think maybe I'm just too old now, but I don't think I'm ready for those like 24 or 30-hour sessions anymore or something.
That's fair. Like, I mean, there's
That's a
good that we
plus
have
for soccer.
alternatives. Like, I definitely prefer the longer races. I love that.
Well, something that still gets brought up a lot, pretty much every time these races happen, is a fixed amount of playtime.
I'd be down for
So,
that. No matter
yeah.
what league type, hardcore, softcore, whatever. That'd be awesome.
I mean, I'd
and
be
it
down for
would
trying it.
Yeah, because it would potentially be a lot more inclusive for other people as well, right? Because especially depending on how strict you are with the playtime, people, they don't have to do the 30, 40-hour sessions, and they can actually do it and not have to like no life it completely, right?
Yeah. A lot
Yeah.
healthier too. So you know.
See,
Yeah,
Uber
yeah,
Elite made a big post about how it could end up being less healthy if it was, for example, say it was 18 hours a day, right? They were allowed to play. I can't remember exactly how much he was specifying, but yeah, he made a big post about why it would be less unhealthy, which is some racers, if you know that you only have 18 hours to play or only 20 or whatever the amount is, those players are not taking a single break in those 18 or 20 hours.
I'll give you a quick solution to that. Because if there's like if it's in game that you only have X amount of time that you can play, just give players a button that says pause, and it literally pauses your time, and you have 30 minutes allotted every day.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
I mean,
I like that.
if we already have the, you know, I mean, there's always a way to fix that.
And this only
So,
works in SSF though.
yes.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, it could work in group self-found as well.
Yes.
Pause for the whole group, essentially.
Pause for the team.
Right, yes. But I'm saying it doesn't work in trade league is what I meant.
Timeout.
But
Gotta
yeah, I like
pick
that.
the strats.
That would still be a big thing. Like that is where the hardcore race is, like so many people racing there, because it's hard for a lot of people to get groups.
Yeah, it's always been like pretty hard for people to find groups, or I don't really know what it is. I kind of feel like before we had SSF, there was like a lot more like social interaction in hardcore trade. I don't know about you guys, how you guys feel
Yeah.
about that, but
Yeah, no, I mean SSF definitely had an impact on Trade League.
especially on hardcore,
yeah.
not so much softcore, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, the idea
Basically
being
made the
right
same.
that if you want difficulty, it's natural for hardcore players to move over to solo self-found.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I definitely prefer trade league. The only thing that I hate is that you feel sort of drawn to and pushed towards having either somebody on the group trading for you, and then the one person just pushing XP. Like I don't like that. That's why I would love doing the
So,
group fun.
One thing we learned from this race, actually, which I think I mentioned earlier, is like early trading day 1, day 2. It's
Yeah.
like not really worth it. It's literally better to trade it like there's no trade at all. Just like it's 100% group self-found.
But
And
the
you'll
API
actually
isn't
get
always
more
down
progress.
though.
No, even if the API was up, I feel,
Oh.
because the XP gained or the Atlas bonus gained is worth more currency than what you would get via trading. Because think about it, everyone else is so far behind, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the money to like buy your items
Yeah.
and stuff. It's just not worth it.
the only people who really have the currency are the people you're racing against.
Exactly, right? They don't want to buy your stuff, and you don't want to buy theirs. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, remember when people wouldn't
I do-
sell you Nextons?
Oh my
As
god,
is.
I remember one time I needed to buy an item for my build. This is like 5 years ago or something. I don't even know what race this was. And Ziz was selling rank. I was like, yo, that rank would be perfect for me, but I'm not buying from Ziz, dude. He's like rank 2, I'm rank 1. Screw that guy.
remember that.
I'm buying a worse rank from someone else, dude.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
I hated stuff like that. Like I remember there was one
I
time
love stuff like that.
there was like a perfect shield or a helmet for my build. And I was literally in the trade window. I was buying it. It was a good price. And someone messaged the guy like, don't sell it to Zizaran. I will pay you. It was Kobe or something, I think. I will
That might
pay
have been
you.
me. Oh yeah, it was
No.
Kobe,
Yeah,
actually.
it wasn't you.
Oh, shit.
You ended up getting the shield later for cheaper.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't know how, but
And it was like, yeah, I'll give you 3 times what Zizaran is paying right now. And he canceled the trade with me. Wouldn't sell it.
oh, I remember this.
And
yeah.
then
He whispered me for a price check. He's like, yo, what is this worth? And I was like, oh, it's worth that much. And he's like, oh yeah, Kobe offered this much. I was like, nah, he's just like trolling you or something. He's not
Yeah.
gonna give it to you. And he's like, do you want it? I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Give me that shield right now.
that was what
I
happened.
got the shield.
When you got it
That was
cheaper,
awesome.
I'd offered quite a lot.
Yep.
So yeah, I got completely fucked, and that was like really big for my build too. So that shit like that, I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, I think we were both playing Ball Spark at the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was big. Dude, that was fun. I love the Wild Spark days.
Same. Undetected.
I know. And one of the
Not a
things that I
balanced
really, really enjoyed about playing groups was like bears. That
Oh, yeah.
was so fun.
That's always a good time.
The horror.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh dude, you got a triple kill, dude. That's badass. Ah.
Oh.
Good times. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, hopefully we'll try to get some more group fund races up, because obviously TGT supported the last one we made, so
Yeah.
see if they can do that again and maybe do a shorter one. Like the last one was obviously to level 100, which is a bit long as a
It's a
race,
bit
but maybe
long,
do like
yeah.
93 or 95.
93, that would be a really fast race, I think.
Hmm.
Probably over like less than a day. I'd say.
93? Yeah, it should probably be a little bit longer.
Even if
I
you
mean,
wanted a long race, even 97 or 98 would be really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that like
'Cause, like-
changes up the struts a lot, whereas like there's no
Yeah.
difference between a 98 race and a 100 except that it takes longer. There's nothing that happens. There's no strats or exciting shit.
Yeah, nobody dies at
I
99.
mean, there kind of is, right? Because a lot of people like to save like the OPXP stuff
Yeah.
to like the end, right? Like, don't you agree? As you're making those faces, I don't know what that face means, but like, you don't.
Did you not hear what Steele said?
No, I agree.
Oh, what do you say?
Nobody dies at 99. Toxic mage.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be fun. It'd be good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really want an endless delve race. Like where you just
Man,
have endless soul
Yes,
fight.
please. Yes, please.
That would be really cool. I
That's-
was talking to Steele before the podcast. It's like looking at the old race ladders. It's just like really nostalgic. It's just like you want that race season again.
Yeah.
Like man, and this delve. Oh my god, that'll be the best.
Well, I'm gonna keep every time I talk to them, I'm like, endless delve, descent champions, please.
Anything?
Yeah.
Please,
So,
please. Something. It's like. Yeah, here's a question for you guys. Do you think they're gonna do anything until the Exile Con race
No,
in November?
100% not.
Really?
I doubt it.
Because they normally do things in the last month, and the last month is November, which is people are traveling to ExileCon.
Yeah.
Okay. Then follow up on that. So there's a trend that has been noticed. But I don't know if it's 100% true or not. But when player retention is poor, there sometimes is a flashback race.
Everybody
it's not
quit
like
right
this.
now. Let's get that flashback going.
Let's get a flashback, boys. So maybe after ExileCon or maybe right before. I don't know. That'd be
Well,
kinda
right
cool.
after
I was
ExileCon
thinking-
is the new league, pretty much. New league
Yeah,
starts
I was
6th of
thinking
December.
before.
Yeah.
is-
It's like first week
before
November or
like a
something.
couple
Like 1 week. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. That would be cool. I really want to try to arrange some sort of races in like late October, early November before ExileCon.
Ooh.
Is what I want. But yeah,
Any early details for the community or just
that was it.
no, not yet. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. That was. I'm pretty much out of topics unless there's more.
I only have depressing topics.
Oh, Doogie.
I'm now for depressing topics, but
Baby rage.
isn't this podcast
Okay,
called
okay. I have
Logical
one
Optimism?
thing here. I
I'm
actually
the
want, I want
optimistic
your
one.
input on one thing because this is actually something that bothers me. And there was a post today on Reddit as well. So there was a post about Boltzvet Siri. I don't know if you saw it. It's like it's not a very highly upvoted one, but someone wanted to have the like the Legion style boxes applied to Boltzvet Siri. And so I saw my boy Fightgar in there being like, no more homogenizing of all the reward structure into the same thing. Because I've
agree.
I
noticed that every
agree with
single,
that,
like,
yeah.
since synthesis, it's been more and more of a trend. And it's also why people are complaining about the current loot in this league. Is that this, like, trend to just make everything into a loot pinata at the end of an encounter. I
Yeah.
really don't like that.
I don't like it either. I completely agree. I think the Volts of Series is fine right now. It's a great place to go for like
exactly.
early six
Right.
things and six things in general.
Tons
Or
of
like
fragments,
divines.
too.
Yeah. So it's completely fine the way it is now. And I hate, like I said earlier in the podcast, that I hate that the best way of getting incursion gear is not incursion. Like every architect should have a big chance or drop
Yeah.
several rares for that type of stuff. And every architect you kill should influence what the Roomba vacuum cleaner thing at the end spawns, like loot wise.
I kind of miss like the monsters themselves being the source of the loot, right? That you kill
Yeah.
something big and then, oh shit, he dropped that. Great.
Yeah.
Like the good old calling memes, right? You'd have someone coming in,
Oh,
calling.
You
I
think it's gonna
mean-
happen at current PoE? Like carries like one-shotting
no, that's
everything at
not.
6-player party.
Yeah.
I'm
Good luck
just
with
saying
that.
it was exciting having the monsters actually dropping
True.
the things rather than clicking the box at the end.
Yeah.
Because you
Could
didn't.
be
You're
a,
like you're just kind of like waiting for the thing to be over so you can click the thing, which is like.
Could be like a super band-aid fix to quantity gear. Like maybe that's what it is, you know? Like a super band-aid fix.
Yeah.
And it did work. I mean, it kind of worked. I don't know. I stopped running Magic Find gear in Legion, so
Yeah.
I honestly prefer Magic Find Gear over the box at the end. That's my take. I liked having to have like a secondary character I would sometimes set up to Magic Find with. That was nice. It was like a little goal you could have every league to have a strong MF character. Rather
I
than
think it's
just
pretty cool.
I do like having
I
an
liked
MF
it.
character, yeah.
Okay, off that topic, what do you guys think about like low level or low map farming for like content, right? I guess it's not really viable this league, but it was last league. Some people like, some people don't. I personally think it's fine, but like, what do you
I
guys
So-
think?
love it.
But I need your bathroom after this, but before I go, like how I feel about this is basically I hate it when like tier 9 and 10 areas are ever more profitable than maps. I feel like tier 9s and 10s, or sorry, like act 9 and 10 is what I mean. Like farming quarry and stuff, that can be like, you could be able to make currency there, but you should never be able to make more currency than maps.
So
And I feel like there should be a nice steady line of progressions where there's a big difference between whites, yellows, and reds.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need like tier 16s to be like 4,000% more loot than tier 2s. But whenever tier 2s are better and more like that, you just should be running tier 2s over 16s, I die inside. I hate that. But I'm gonna go bathroom, I'll be right back.
all right.
No, I'm probably I actually agree that they. Well, I agree with this. I think the most important thing is that there is that you feel like you can have a difference in where you farm. That it's not just like that glacier becomes the only thing to do.
Yeah.
I think that's really damaging. I think that should, with the league mechanic, you should feel like you can apply like multiple places. I don't really care whether or not it becomes like the yellow is always the way to go, the white or whatever is like slightly better, but there should be like an upside
Well, the
to
thing
go
with
either
that,
red or yellow or white.
yeah, I mean, I agree that there should be an upside there, but it wasn't just Glacier. There was other maps too. Obviously,
Like
Glacier was the
alleyways.
one. Yeah, alleyways,
Yeah.
burial chambers, Ashen
Yeah.
Woods, City Square. So I didn't mind it too much. I mean, I kind of liked having a character to just blast on and just mow through mobs. I found it very enjoyable.
Mhm.
So
I think like a lot of people like the tier 2 farming because it's just so accessible, right? It's like so easy to do. You don't have to like buy sextants, you don't have to like get all the juice for like your T16s, right? Where you kind of need that to like sustain the T16s.
Yeah.
But if you could get all that preparation done like quickly, I think the T16s were still better to do even last league. Maybe you guys know
Yeah,
about
no.
that, but because you got the map
Yeah,
drops, right? And stuff like that.
Yeah, no, they probably were, yeah, at the end. But I think the problem there is that by the time you get to the T16 setup, it's like, what's even the point?
True, because you already have like everything just from farming
Yeah.
low maps. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, that's yeah, honestly, that's probably my number one complaint. There was nothing to do after the glacier farming, right? There was no
Yeah.
incentive to have like this massive, other than delving. That there is delve.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing. It felt like anyway, which is what I ended up doing. So
What about buying or farming a lot of 5-way steel and then spinning for 13 hours? You could do that with your money. How about that?
that was a bit of a meme, but yeah, it was fun.
Okay. Yeah, so you can do memes, dude. Memes are good. Why not?
I hated that so much.
That was awesome, dude.
Especially for like, I have so many friends who like can't afford a headhunter. Like I can, but so many, like the fact that one item made it unprofitable for them to run content made me really sad. That like ruined it for me. That made me so sad. Like for me, I would be
Well-
like, I would either like get a headhunter myself or have like somebody I knew with a headhunter run it. So I would be fine. But like so many people didn't have that, and the fact that they like literally had to sell it, that just destroyed me. Like, you should never feel like you have to sell the league content. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing it with a relatively okay build, right, in SSF, and thinking these are trash,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I did it in Trade League, and it's like, wow, like with a Headhunter, obviously, and I was like, the difference between balanced SSF build attempting the content and a Headhunter fully geared character in Trade League doing the content is. Like, it felt like you had, like you said, it felt like you had to have one, right? Or you
Yeah.
had to have like 10 million DPS, which I just couldn't get in SSF.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like somebody was like, "Sis, you don't need a headhunter here. Check this out." He showed me a video. It's like mirror gear, and I was like, "Fuck off!" Just like so dumb. Ah. But yeah, no, that was Legion was the worst thing ever for me. Least favorite. Okay, not as bad as Talisman, but almost.
I was about to say Legion. I kind of liked it because it followed the trend.
Blight, I gotta say.
Yeah, that too. But I feel like followed the trend of Synthesis. Where Synthesis was like high difficulty, high rewards, right?
Loved
It's
Synthesis.
kind of similar, right? Scary mobs, but like big loot. You know what I mean? Big
But there
XP
was
as
stuff
well.
to do in Synthesis. There was an end game. There was
True.
so many things
I
to push
ignored that
towards.
game. I used
Right.
it totally for XP, but yeah.
I loved
Yeah,
Synth.
speaking of which, like the Blight end game is supposed to be blooded maps, but
Yes.
they're kind of
Where are they?
scuffed. They're well,
Where are they? Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, well, they're rare, but they're also
Yeah.
super scuffed because they're really unrewarding at the moment, which I know they're working on.
Yeah.
But where does that leave us right now?
Yeah, and they're crushing half the time. I had a tier 15
yeah.
blighted map, and I used the Harbinger orb on it. Now I no longer have a tier 15 blighted map.
They were like okay, like day 1, day 2 for like money, sort of. Like it was kind of nice. You don't need magic find gear for them, but like there was like the Roa bug where it spawned Roas and they wouldn't actually die. Then I'm just like, oh, I guess we're just why are we even doing this, right? It's just so kind of stopped at that point. That was
Yeah,
a
I
very
think-
fun mechanic though. Did enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're fun to do. Like, I actually really
Yeah.
like the blight mechanic. I just feel like
same.
they could have done more with it. Like, maybe there could have been some blight boss maps or something. I don't know, like
Yeah.
something special. Like that like is for me personally very needed. That's why I like Synthesis
Yeah.
so much. You had the 4 bosses and you had the Cortex. That was so cool. And then like yeah, we have the bosses and the Cortex back in through Zana now, but not a massive fan. Like that's not really part of Blight.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I don't know. Like they're so I feel stupid doing them right now.
Yeah, like I'm trying to
Yeah.
think, why would I not just regularly map right now? Is it to experience them? Because I've experienced them and they're fun. They actually are really
Yeah.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
really fun.
But what's the incentive here? And I heard oils, right? That's usually what comes up when I bring it up. Oils.
They don't drop.
Well, even if
Like
they
that.
did, I have a lot of gold and oils. I'm thinking, would I want to put them on, right? But I've even heard Grimro was testing even gold and oils, and they're not even that good on these maps. So it's like,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the same
Actually using
thing.
them?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, on standard, they might eventually, in a month's time, when there's like enough around, and people run like the super juiced up quant gear or whatever, maybe they start becoming worth it. There might be like a space there, but they're not that great. It's like what, 25 pack size
Yeah.
and some chance to get double drops of the chests.
yeah, one of the mods, I think it's a silver oil, is lucky drops, and Grimro was saying he could not distinguish
Yeah.
which ones were lucky and which ones were not
Oh
regular.
my.
He could not see the loot.
That's so bad. Yeah, no, I hate that because like the mechanic is so fun. And like I remember my first blind map, I was like, wait, hold up, wait, is this bugged? There's monsters everywhere.
Yeah, this is so fun, right? I had the same reaction. I was like doing Blight normally. I was slouching down in my chair, going down,
Yeah.
falling asleep. Go on the map. I was like, whoa, this is crazy, dude. Let's go.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's like-
cool. They've like nailed
Bit
it with that
spooky and
stuff.
hardcore,
And then I
though.
hover over my XP
Yeah.
bar and I'm like, is it bugged?
Yeah, same
That-
thing. Like, what's going
yeah.
on?
I think they give reduced XP or something. They must,
Yeah,
because
I think they do. Yeah.
there's like thousands and thousands, like a ton of mobs in there, and they give less XP than doing regular maps. Like a lot less XP. So I don't know. And then again, like I said, people bring up oils, but I don't know. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah.
So hopefully the patch next week's big, but it sucks that we have to wait that long for them to be rewarding.
And just like 3 or 4 unique blight maps with bosses would have gone a long way for me.
Yeah, I heard I've seen some of the blight uniques as well, the chests and the gloves, and they look cool too. But I don't think there's a special boss encounter behind them. They just drop.
Yeah, I've had like
So that's kind of yeah.
You know what I miss?
What?
I miss a league where it's not, where the end game isn't a league mechanic. I kind of miss a league where it's like it's juicing up everything else, so that you're, I don't know.
It's kind of how I've been treating this league. Basically, it's like, oh, there's a league mechanic. You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely know what you
know,
mean.
like something like Beyond again, right? Something that just throws a wrench into everything, because it's been a long time since it was like Delve, Betrayal, Synthesis, Legion, and now Blight. I think that's the. So it's like it's always, if the league mechanic is not good enough, then we feel like the game is sort of empty rather than juicing up the whole game. That would be nice.
Right, but a lot of players, I mean, I love stuff like that, but a lot of players don't because they want to be able to skip the league mechanic. They want to play their fresh economy reset, but a lot of players prefer when there's like a breach sound or something that you have to opt into. A lot of people hate things like Invasion or Beyond, where they're like suddenly they're sent to standard or 10% less XP.
Love things like that, where it's like, well, you're about to die.
Yeah, I love it.
People. Yeah, those mechanics are always like really polarizing. There's like on one hand, there's like people just like, man, I love the challenge, dude. Like, give me everything you got. And on the other hand, people they just don't want to chill, they want to relax, and like, yeah, they don't want the invasion boss just teleporting on them and like, whoop, goodbye. So, yeah.
I mean, you can still make it optional though, without it being, like a completely new system. I mean, we don't. It could
How would
not
you make
be
invasion optional, for example?
What, sorry?
Invasion, because that's supposed to be like there's a spooky boss somewhere in the map that's gonna
I remember. Okay, so an optional system. I know a Tempest was optional. I mean, you could like kind of like you could decide where you would go.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
What, you leave the map you just spawned?
What?
Oh yeah, because there's the Bissell Tempest, right?
I mean, you need a better UI, right? I mean, so you can see what's on the different maps.
Well, before you put them in,
rather than being like random before you go in.
Oh right, okay, then sure.
Right, so you don't need to have the same system as it was back then.
Right, that's fair.
Okay.
I love Tempest.
So
it's just,
do you think?
Because it's like for me with Blight, it's if the Blight mechanic doesn't exactly hit, it feels really empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when there's just 4 blights or something. It's like, great. It's even worse when they're like all spread out. So there's one top left, one top right, one bottom left. And I'm like, oh no, I actually have to move around. They're already boring.
Yeah.
Well, like I was mentioning earlier, I mean, they're not always that slow to spawn with that low density. So maybe it's just a little bit of tweaking they need to do there.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever encounter that where it was like a lot, like it was actually hectic? Did you guys ever encounter that?
Only in Blight maps.
Yeah.
I did have a few.
Oh.
Although today, during my stream, I found out that there were players in my chat that did not know you could skip the start timer, and they were sitting there for 25 seconds at the start of every.
Oh no!
So for those of you who
we
don't
found
know,
it like 5 hours in, we're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, really? I can click that button?
yeah.
Like, oh.
So there's a button you can skip the initial timer, which is above your skill bar or above your shop, like the MTX shop.
Someone just found out right now.
Yeah.
Nice. I wonder if they'll do like invasion like mechanics again. Something that's just like, hey man, you're gonna die. You know what I mean? You think they'll do that?
They'll
You know what
never
they should
do
do?
another invasion.
They should do what they did from the very beginning. Have one for standard, one for hardcore.
I would actually be down
and
for
then we
that.
can have something like that.
I would love that.
So yeah, and then to like make it so it's not too much work, you have like the standard version and then just like a juiced up version of that for hardcore,
Yes.
right? That'd be really cool.
Literally
Yeah.
just make it like, yeah.
Double the numbers of or whatever. Like I don't know if it's like, yeah, just keep it simple, dude.
No, that'd be too much. That'd be too nice for hardcore, man.
What do you mean too nice? Is that sarcasm or?
They balanced the game around softcore. I believe this now. I
Yep.
believe it.
They do.
Honestly.
They do.
Yep.
They've said that. They used to around hardcore back when they loved us.
Oh.
Dying breed.
Why'd
Unfortunately.
people sad? Yeah, that was back in the day. I remember Chris went on a podcast and called it Scrubcore. That was interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
That was ages ago. It's like 5 years ago.
I feel like their stance has totally changed now because they changed it from like softcore to standard, right?
Yeah.
Because like just the wording of it for whatever reason.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a cozy game now for
Yeah.
boomers. Debated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling old, dude. This push was definitely hard.
Yeah, like I said, I am amazed because I didn't go to Vegas. I just relaxed. I was sleeping the last week before the raid. So yeah, I can't believe you were able to push as hard as you did. You did well, man.
Thanks. It's definitely an event.
You'll get him next time, Ziz. I believe in you.
Dude, let's hope so. I want to ruin Steel Streak. What? Who said that?
You said what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
What?
What? Okay, I have a question for you, or it's everyone actually. Do you guys agree that performance kind of just been like a straight line down recently? Past couple weeks, or?
Okay, this sounds like a meme, but I unironically feel like ever since they said they hired a performance team, it's been getting worse. That sounds really harsh because obviously they are working on performance and it would probably be a lot worse if they didn't have it. But maybe they've just been adding too much stuff or something. Because I remember, I think it was either Beyond or the league before. I felt like the game was so stable. It was running on my like what now? Like I guess now that computer's like 7 years old or something. I think it was like 2 or 3 years before I started playing PoE that I got that PC, and it was running so smooth. And I was playing in teams. I was playing with other people. And then I remember there was a big optimization patch, and they started like doing stuff with the DirectX, and whatever has changed, it wasn't working for my system. I guess yeah, lockstep is a big part of it because it feels a lot better on predictive mode, but then you die to desync.
So.
Piranhas, I agree, is definitely the league where I feel like it all went to shit. That's like their worst league launch ever. There was just balls of crashes. People are like, what was the rippiest league? And I was like, dude, Piranhas, you crashed every 30 seconds.
That was the league I got. The lockbot lockout macro. That
Yeah.
was the league.
Yeah. I think that might have been mine as well. Because I was playing BV. I was like, it was unplayable. Running into the Bubble Boys. Oh no.
Yes, I think that's when I started using Logo Macro too.
That's kind of funny.
That was really
So do you
against
guys
Logo
think there's
Macro.
like a? Do you guys think there's a solution to like how they always have to like put new content out, right, to like make players return and like all that stuff, attract new ones? Is there a solution where they can kind of do like a performance or bug fix patch, but also I guess giving new toys? You know what I mean? Like
I don't know. Maybe that's part of what they're doing in
it's a game.
4.0.
4.0 is a year away, man. I don't want this line to go even lower down.
Yeah, I don't have much hope for it. Like it's hard to like keep up with
Really?
everything. I
Wow.
think.
Yeah, they just want to make sure they're pumping out the new content on the regular schedule, keep things running smooth. So it's rough. We're not gonna see any major system changes like that until 4.0. Like,
I mean, this league was the only time I've seen the ladder in game be messed up. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Like I was like a
Oh.
level ahead, and like the ladder showed me it's like level 87 when I was 88, and I was like, oh.
Dude, we had the funniest bug. I think we were doing a port or something, and we all crashed, right? And after we logged in, all of us were removed from the ladder. Like, whoa, what do we do, boys? We literally disappeared.
It's over.
you got Kobe, dude.
Yeah, I thought we got banned or something. Then like an hour later, we all came back. So
Right, yeah,
that was
yeah.
the craziest bug.
It was really interesting for pushing early on because I was like, am I ahead? Or because there hasn't been a level message in a while. Then I leveled and I was like, oh, okay, still ahead. Good shit.
Yep. Yeah, I was like 12 hours behind at some point. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Happened 3 times at least as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully they are able to like sort the API out for next league. At least I feel like crashes wise, it's been getting pretty good. Like servers and stuff hasn't been anywhere ever as bad as Piranha's was. Like there would be like some initial crashes in the first hour or two, but usually it's fairly stable now, and the queues are so fast. Like if you look at like World of Warcraft and stuff with how long their queues was, oof.
Yeah, queues are really good this time. I have the opposite, I guess, about crashes, I suppose. It was like pretty bad for us. I think we talked about the OBS crash earlier.
Mhm.
But other than that, which eventually got fixed, it was pretty good. I'd say, yeah.
Yeah.
I think crashing wise has been the best league for me ever. I haven't crashed pretty much at all.
Yeah, it might just be
the
like
only
a party
time
fight.
the only
haven't
time I
crashed
crashed
either.
was the proximity shields in Blight. That's like the one thing that just destroyed me. Everything else was fine.
I crash so much these days. I don't know, man. I maybe it's my computer, but I crash like maybe like 100 times every league now. Every league for like last year and a half.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I have very little crashes this league. Like there was just like maybe the shrine map. That was a good one. Oh. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Like definitely better at least. Yeah.
3.9. Apparently that's supposed to be game changing too, apparently, in its own way. According to GG. Like, what does that even mean?
They honestly always surprise me with what they come up with, and I really love a lot about this league because it's very different than normal ARPG stuff. I think they're really bold for doing shit like that. Like that's pretty cool. I've always wanted either base defense using like our hideout in Path of Exile, or like something like this, like tower defense. I think it's really cool, and I honestly think with a little bit of tuning, which sadly every league seems to need now. I feel like we're beta testing the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would love them to just release a league and everyone just be like, Pog, this is awesome. There's like no like complete bullshit one shots, and everything seems great. I would love that to happen. It hasn't since I can remember. But like, yeah, I don't know. They always keep surprising me with like the content and what they put out.
Do you have any guesses to what it could be for 3.9?
Fishing League!
Okay, but actual guesses.
I have no idea.
I haven't heard about this news actually, so.
Yeah, it was in the timeline post. It was like 4.0 next year or whatever. 3.9 is game changing in its own way. Oh, we'll find it for you.
But when is 3.9?
6th of December.
Is that December one?
Yep.
Interesting.
That's something I also really like. That like the dates are so like predictable.
Alright, well, how about this? How about this? Bossing League. It's a bossing league.
We kind of had that one league with Uber Elder, right? That was a really fun
That
league.
was so fun.
No 100 race, we had the boss race. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That
was
means
so
a new
good.
boss, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying? That would be nice.
Okay, what if we had like bosses kind of like WoW? I never played WoW, so I don't know how it works exactly. But it's like you have to kill a boss to
raid.
you have to kill a boss to unlock the next boss, right?
I mean, we got
Like
tower
stuff
defense.
like that.
I'll believe anything.
We have that already.
Uber through, yeah.
Maybe even cheaper.
But it's like not like, okay, you have to kill a normal Zuri like 3,000 times to get like set, right? Or like 100 times, whatever the ratio is. You know, what if it's like, okay, I killed Uber
in like a full instance is what you're talking about? Well, you have to kill one to go to the other.
Tier, right? You know,
I mean, at some point they have to give us the Chinese boss ladder stuff, right?
yeah, that'd be really
Like
cool.
it's already made. Isn't that just a massive waste of dev time not to let us have it in some form at some point?
How does that work?
It's at the end of the league. They get to like take their characters into a boss ladder and fight harder and far harder bosses.
God, that's what we suggested like 4 years ago.
Yeah, well, China has
Kind
it.
of like Delve, but like for bosses,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty cool.
Yep.
Sounds so fun.
I can't believe they have that and we don't.
Yes.
I feel cheated.
Yes.
I actually feel cheated.
Yeah, but you just imagine it's like you kill Uber Elder and it's like, okay, you've unlocked the next boss, right? And it's like it's Uber Mathel or something. You defeat Uber Mathel and then you unlock Uber Christolson, you know, and just like there's like more bosses after. Wouldn't that be so cool? Like just one league.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
would.
what if that's okay? Here's the league mechanic next week. We just make like 20 different bosses, and that's the league, right? And they're just harder and harder and harder. And then the rest of the dev team focuses on bug fixes and performance, and it's great, dude.
So
That's
wait,
what I'm
if you're
thinking.
fighting Uber Quinn, does that like do 0 damage, but it is super tanky?
I just
Yes.
stunned you forever.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I could
Yeah,
only imagine the voice lines. Oh, no.
and you have to beat him. by
Seven.
killing him.
Steel's first nightmare.
You can only do 7 damage per hit.
Oh.
Alright, pretty
Nice.
cool. Streamer themed bosses. That'd be pretty fun.
Rice boss doesn't move.
Would it be Piety or would it be just Rise?
Yeah, it would just be piety.
That'd be pretty good.
Turn into the Ziz boss room. Boss falls over. Easy fight.
I wonder if this catches that.
Mm.
Because the player has reflect, says, so you attack the player and your boss dies.
Hey now. Sis boss has reflect. Can't read either. You don't know what it does. Boss room is a book that you have to read. You open it and die. What the fuck? People are toxic. I'm not enjoying this.
I like this.
HAVOC616 boss just runs around the room at 500% movement speed.
And just yells downtime the whole time.
Ah.
You know what I think the punish or the counter to the Sis boss would be? To run punishment or curse.
Wow.
Kills itself.
Wow. Right. Okay. I think that's been enough for this podcast. I'm not enjoying this bullying.
Yeah, I can keep going all day. Alright.
Bullies. Actual bullies. No, this is good. I enjoyed it.
That was
Should-
fun.
We should do this more often. After league pushes and stuff.
Yeah.
Method team meeting done live.
Basically, yeah.
Nice.
It was good.
I like it.
Yeah. So let's start shouting at people's channels and stuff. HAVOC, where can people find more of you?
You can find more of me at twitch.tv/HAVOC616.
SteelMage, where can we find more of you?
Twitch.tv/SteelMage202.
Well, me and Noogie don't have any numbers. Noogie, my beautiful co-host, where can we find more of you?
Nukian everywhere.
Nice. Just no numbers, just clean.
No numbers.
So clean.
And hopefully you're watching this. What? Oh, hopefully you're watching this on my YouTube channel or Twitch channel. If you're not, it's been stolen. Send me help. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 8 of the podcast, Logical Optimism. And a big shout out and a big clap to all our beautiful, amazing, wide, peepo, happy viewers. You guys were amazing. So on that note, we're going to end and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully, I might be at TwitchCon then. We'll try to figure something out. We'll figure out a date. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.